Right, so lino printing, this is a half block. I've just cut it up. Now you can cut it with just a normal pair of scissors and that will work fine. But lino printing is all to do with sort of negative space. It's similar to mono printing, but you use this piece of lino to then sort of take pieces out of it, like here. And the bits that are left will print and the bits that are not won't print. Does that make sense? You end up with a bit of negative space for different things. Now you can do this in however way you want, but what I usually do as a bit of a focus is I would draw on top of my lino print roughly what I'm looking at. You can use pen on this, but if you do it wrong, obviously you can't really rub it out, so you're still going to be stuck with that same piece. So think about how you want your shape to be. I'm just doing this very quickly, so just bear with. You need to think about which pieces you'd want to see as sort of a main part and which bits you'd prefer to be left. Now, just a very quick version there. So these are your sort of lino printing tools. You will find that there's different shapes and sizes of these, so depending on what sort of shape you are trying to create. If you're just wanting something fairly thin, you probably want this thinner one with this kind of shape, but if you're trying to take out, say, a whole section, you might want something a little bit bigger. Now I could do this kind of shape in one of two ways. I could end up printing the background here and then removing all the rest of the background. So I could either have the background printed in, say, a black or whatever colour I choose, and then take out my flower drawing around here, or I could take out the rest of the background and then have that as sort of a main print. Now it's up to you what you want to do for it. But with mine, I think what I'm going to start off with is just showing you how to use these tools. So I use it, I think, more like a chisel, that kind of thing. So you want to just take off small amounts at first. Now these bits are really sharp, so don't end up having your hand there and pressing it into it, because that will end up cutting you. Okay, so you take a small bit at first, but then you can go deeper. These bits then start coming off. You'd follow your shape round like so. Now when you've done your whole print, so it's going to take a little while to do the whole print, you can then start printing it onto fabrics. Now this is a really good one to get lots of samples that you can add different things to. You can try it on different fabrics. They are really interesting to show some of the different textures and how it looks totally different using different fabrics. So have a think about that. I haven't really spoken to you much yet about dividing up samples, but we do quite a lot of dividing samples up and then adding detail on different ones. So if you're doing something like this, rather than just leaving it a blank lino print, you could then sort of do some freeform embroidery on it. You could maybe add some felting on it. You could add beads or some hand stitching, however you wanted it to go. I'm going to finish this one off, but you get the kind of idea of how it looks.